A policy that I tend to have a bit of a problem with is the one that says the customer is always right, because most of the time the customer is dead wrong. Typically, whenever you actually try to do something functional, that's never the policy. You don't ever do what the customer wants. I guess in hospitality sometimes you do, but if you go like to the grocery store or something and you claim something happened, they'll usually tell you that you were wrong. It's not even implemented all of the time, which means that it's not consistent, which is never a good thing. The reason why I bring this up is because I was just thinking about all the stupid things that happened to me when I'm at the front desk. One time this lady came in and she was asking about tennis courts, and she wanted to know how to reserve a tennis court, and I'm like, you can't reserve tennis courts. And she said, but how is that possible? I want to be able to play tennis. And I said, but you don't reserve them, you just go and see if one's open. That's just how our tennis courts work. They're just public tennis courts. They're not private. You don't reserve them. That's just not how we do it. And I basically just tried to explain to her the concept of first come, first serve without actually using the phrase first come, first serve. And she just didn't get it. And I just said, this is how it works. And she couldn't understand. And she basically ended it with the phrase, in a very condescending tone, I might add, do you see how that doesn't make sense? She seemed to be convinced that she was making some sort of brilliant point, but she was in fact quite illogical. The really terrible thing about it is that some people are just really, really rude. I can be very dim-witted about things at times, but I try not to get mad at the person helping me. If I make a mistake, I say, oops, sorry, that was really stupid, but I'm not going to yell at someone. It's not their fault that I made a mistake. That's all there is to it. On a much happier note, I went to Disneyland on Monday. I actually went to California Adventure, not Disneyland, and I only went to California Adventure, and I just did it to see Cars Land and to see the new entrance plaza kind of area of California Adventure, and it's really, really gorgeous. You know me, I'm obsessed with Disney, specifically Imagineering, and this is yet another exceptional feat for the Imagineers. California Adventure kind of used to be a fail of a park. It's a lot better now. Their new entrance plaza is way more inviting and way more exciting. Radiator Springs Racers is the only thing that I actually really got to go on. Cool. You like go along a little country road and they have on the road music, and then you go into like a dark ride part of it. Half of it is kind of dark ride and half of it is like out in the open roller coaster, but not roller coaster really, because you're just like in a race car. You're sitting in this race car and you like have to swerve because there's a tractor that's evil and is going to eat you or whatever, and then you get sprayed by something because you're getting a paint job and all this cute stuff. And then you pull up next to another car, the car before you, or another car pulls up after you depending on which one you are, and you race. And it's really, really cool, and it could have gone faster, but that's okay. There are small children that can go on those. And the seats are really comfortable. I don't know if that was just like me being really happy or not, but I found the seats very comfortable to sit in. Good. I would like to first apologize for the fact that this video will go way over time because I have to talk about books now, and God knows how long that's going to take. I don't want to be completely hipster, but I tend to have this point of view that I'm cooler than everybody else because I like Ned Vizzini before everybody else liked Ned Vizzini. And people only necessarily like Ned Vizzini because of this, which became a movie starring Emma Roberts, of all people, which is why I didn't want to see it. But it also starred Lauren Graham, which is why I did want to see it. I never saw it. I will see it eventually, but I've heard that it was not that good, and it certainly doesn't do the book justice. I always make sure that I use the phrase doesn't do it justice because I do believe that nothing ever ruins a book. A book stays its own beautiful, perfect thing. Anyway, so it's kind of a funny story. I liked it. It was good. It wasn't the best. His other two books were way better, and I'm going to talk about those now. So the first one that he wrote is Teen Angst? Nah. It is his quasi-autobiography, which is fantastic. And I was really a huge fan of this in junior high. My sister introduced me to it, and the first chapter, oh, you're gonna love this. The first chapter, this made me so happy. My sister and I like giggled about it obsessively when we read it. Nintendo Saved Me is the name of the first chapter, not counting the introduction. And it's really, really funny, and it's about how he gets out his old Super NES and like cleans it and plays it, and it's fantastic. And it's got like the really old controllers. And then the second book that he wrote, the middle book, is Be More Chill, which is really cool. It's about this kid named Jeremy who basically eats a pill that it's called the Squip, and it goes in his mind and it like makes him cool and tells him exactly what to say to get girls and to become part of the popular crowd. Our high school, Katie, was pretty amazing compared to most stereotypical high schools when it came to cliques. It's really, really well written, and his sense of humor is just phenomenal. I just really, really love Ned Vizzini. I just like the way he writes. It's that simple. I don't really know a good way to describe it, partly because I actually haven't read these in a really long time, but they're fantastic, and I promise that you would enjoy any of these books, especially the first two. That is all for today. Yes, Emily, that is usually what you do with seats. You sit in them.